Welcome to Shadowed Stoics, where we dive deep into the unexplored corners of Stoic philosophy. Join us as we unravel timeless wisdom through the lens of today's challenges, illuminating the path to inner strength and serenity. Subscribe and journey with us into the shadows of the Stoic mind.
1. Alienation from personal desires. Understanding the trait. In the pursuit of virtue and rationality, Stoicism teaches its adherents to manage and often suppress their personal desires. This philosophical stance is rooted in the belief that achieving a good and tranquil life requires us to control what is within our power, our own actions and responses, and to be indifferent to what is not, which typically includes our desires. At its core, this principle aims to free individuals from the tumult of passion and the pain of unmet desires. However, this Stoic ideal can inadvertently lead to a life that feels disconnected from one's true wants and may suppress genuine personal fulfillment. The Stoic's Dilemma. The Stoic endeavors to live according to nature and reason, striving to maintain an inner citadel that is impervious to external fluctuations of fortune and emotion. By valuing only what is within one's own control, the Stoic can theoretically achieve a state of apatheia, a freedom from passion. However, this often means that personal ambitions, whims, and desires that are deemed irrational or unnecessary are disregarded or actively suppressed. The dilemma arises when the suppression goes too far. Human beings are not only rational creatures, but also emotional and desiring beings. Our desires, from the simple joy of a favorite meal to profound aspirations, like love and artistic expression, are fundamental to our experience of a meaningful life. When these desires are continuously muted in the name of Stoic discipline, it can lead to a form of alienation from one's own humanity, a disconnect between the self that desires and the self that denies these desires. Psychological and social implications. The psychological impact of such alienation can be profound. Individuals may experience a sense of emptiness or lack of purpose when their personal desires are not acknowledged or pursued. The constant restraint can lead to depression or a feeling of stagnation, as if one's life is not fully lived. Socially, this alienation can manifest as difficulty relating to others who do not share or understand the Stoic mindset. Relationships may suffer as the Stoic individual struggles to engage with others in pursuits or emotional exchanges that are seen as unnecessary or distracting from Stoic goals. Reintegrating desire into Stoicism. The challenge, then, for modern Stoics is not to discard the wisdom of Stoicism, but to adapt it to a more holistic understanding of human nature. This adaptation involves acknowledging that desires can be natural and not inherently contrary to reason. It requires a nuanced approach that allows for the pursuit of personal desires in a way that does not compromise virtue or rationality, but enhances the individual's engagement with life. One way to do this is by cultivating what might be called rational desires, desires that are aligned with one's values and long-term goals. For example, a Stoic might cultivate a desire to create art, not simply for personal pleasure, but as a form of expression that aligns with their values of beauty, truth, and contribution to the community. Similarly, a desire for relationships might be framed not just in terms of personal satisfaction, but as a meaningful exchange that enriches understanding and compassion, qualities valued in Stoicism. Practical steps for balancing desire. Self-reflection. Regularly engage in self-reflection to understand which desires contribute to your well-being and personal growth. Desire mapping. Map out how your desires align with your Stoic values. Identify where they conflict and where they harmonize. Moderate pursuit. Pursue your desires moderately. Balance indulgence with restraint, keeping in mind the Stoic virtues of self-control and rationality. Emotional awareness. Cultivate greater awareness of your emotions related to desires. Understand them, don't suppress them, and use reason to navigate through them. Community engagement. Share your struggles and insights with a community that supports both Stoicism and the healthy pursuit of desires. This can provide both a support network and a check against excess. 2. Over-reliance on self-reliance. Understanding the trait. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on self-reliance, encouraging individuals to be resilient and self-sufficient. This principle is rooted in the Stoic belief that the only true goods are those that are within our own control: our thoughts, our actions, and our responses. By focusing on these, Stoics aim to attain a life of peace and contentment, immune to external disruptions. However, an over-reliance on self-reliance can lead to isolation, diminish the ability to ask for help, and prevent the forming of mutually supportive relationships that enrich human life. The Stoics' isolation. In practicing extreme self-reliance, Stoics may inadvertently isolate themselves from the support systems that are a natural and beneficial part of human society. They might view needing others as a weakness or dependency, as a failure, striving always to deal with challenges independently. While independence is certainly a strength, excessive isolation can lead to loneliness and deprive individuals of the diverse perspectives and support found in community interactions. Psychological and social implications. The psychological implications of such isolation can be severe. Humans are inherently social beings, and our psychological health is often bolstered by connections with others. Persistent isolation can lead to feelings of loneliness, which numerous studies have linked to increased risks of mental health disorders, including depression and anxiety. Socially, this trait can lead Stoics to miss out on the benefits of community and the deep sense of belonging that collaborative and supportive relationships bring. Rebalancing, self-reliance, and community involvement. Modern Stoics face the challenge of balancing their admirable self-reliance with the equally important human need for community and connection. This balance involves recognizing that interdependence is not inherently antithetical to Stoic philosophy, but can be a rational and natural extension of it. Practical steps for cultivating balanced self-reliance. Mindful interaction. Engage in social interactions with mindfulness, choosing activities that not only provide social fulfillment, but also align with Stoic values such as growth and mutual support. Vulnerability. Practice. Practice. Vulnerability in safe environments. This can involve sharing personal challenges with trusted friends or family, thereby normalizing the act of seeking and offering help. Community service. Participate in community service or group activities that align with your values. This provides a platform to contribute meaningfully while staying connected with others. Support networks. Build or join support networks where the focus is on mutual growth and help. Such networks can reinforce the value of interdependence without compromising Stoic ideals of resilience. Education on interdependence. Educate yourself about the benefits of interdependence seen in many successful individuals and cultures. Understanding that collaboration and mutual aid or strengths can reshape the Stoic perspective on needing others. 3. Diminished emotional expressiveness. Understanding the trait. Stoicism teaches the virtue of emotional regulation, aiming to equip individuals with the ability to face life's challenges with calm and reason. This focus is intended to prevent overwhelming emotional responses that could cloud judgment or lead to irrational decisions. However, an overly rigid application of this principle can lead to diminished emotional expressiveness, where individuals might suppress their emotions to such an extent that they struggle to connect deeply with others or fully experience life's emotional spectrum. Stoics, emotional dilemma. For Stoics, the ideal of not being controlled by one's emotions can transform into a practice of not expressing emotions at all. This can make Stoics appear aloof or emotionally distant, as they might avoid expressing joy, sadness, or affection in ways that others can easily recognize and respond to. The challenge lies in balancing emotional control with emotional expression. Too much control can inhibit genuine human interactions and emotional growth. Psychological and social implications. The psychological impact of reduced emotional expressiveness is significant. Emotions are not just internal experiences, but are also crucial for forming social bonds and navigating social interactions. By not expressing emotions, Stoics can inadvertently send signals of disinterest or disengagement, which can alienate friends, family, and colleagues. Additionally, suppressing emotions can lead to internal stress and may even exacerbate mental health issues such as anxiety or depression. Embracing emotional expressiveness in Stoicism. The task for modern Stoics is not to discard their emotional regulation, but to find a way to express their emotions in a manner that is both honest and controlled. This means acknowledging emotions and sharing them appropriately, which can deepen relationships and enhance personal well-being. Practical steps for balancing emotional expression. Emotional awareness training. Regularly practice identifying and naming your emotions. This can be done through journaling, meditation, or therapy. The clearer you are about what you're feeling, the better you can manage and express those feelings appropriately. Expressive practices. Engage in activities that encourage emotional expression in a controlled environment. This could include art, writing, or music, which can be outlets for emotions that you might not feel comfortable expressing in other contexts. Communication skills. Development. Learn and practice communication techniques that allow you to express your emotions clearly and constructively. This might involve training in nonviolent communication or emotional intelligence, which can help in articulating feelings without conflict. Feedback loops. Create feedback loops with close friends or family members where you can express emotions and receive constructive feedback. This can help in adjusting how you express emotions so that they are perceived as intended. Therapeutic support. Consider engaging with a therapist who can help explore the roots of your emotional suppression and develop strategies for healthy emotional expression. 4. Complacency and injustice. Understanding the trait. Stoicism advocates for acceptance and emotional detachment in the face of things outside one's control. This philosophy promotes peace of mind through the acceptance of external events as they are, focusing on internal responses rather than external circumstances. However, when applied too rigidly, this attitude can lead to complacency in the face of injustice. Stoics might refrain from engaging in or challenging unjust situations, mistakenly categorizing them as externalities that are beyond their influence. The Stoics' ethical challenge. The ethical challenge for Stoics is to discern when acceptance turns into passivity that permits injustice. While it's true that some circumstances cannot be changed, Stoics can sometimes misinterpret this to mean they should not even attempt to make a change. This misapplication can prevent Stoics from fulfilling their potential as agents for social and moral progress, inadvertently supporting the status quo when it is unjust. Psychological and social implications. The psychological implications of this Stoic trait include a potential conflict between a Stoic's moral instincts and their philosophical teachings. This conflict can lead to cognitive dissonance, where the individual feels torn between the desire to act against wrongs and the Stoic principle of accepting what cannot be controlled. Socially, this trait can result in a community or society that lacks active participation from its Stoic members, who might otherwise contribute significantly to social change and justice. Engaging actively against injustice in Stoicism. For modern Stoics, the challenge is to integrate active engagement with social justice into their philosophy without compromising their inner peace. This involves reinterpreting Stoic principles to recognize that action against injustice can also be a part of living virtuously and rationally. Practical steps for combating complacency. Educational engagement. Stoics should educate themselves about social, political, and environmental issues. Understanding the complexities of these issues can redefine what is perceived as within one's power to change. Active participation. Engage in community and social activism. This can range from voting, participating in peaceful protests, to volunteering for causes that aim to rectify injustices. Philosophical reinterpretation. Reflect on and discuss Stoic texts and teachings that encourage justice and virtue. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius emphasize the importance of acting in accordance with nature, which includes social nature and justice. Networking with like-minded individuals. Build networks with other Stoics or individuals who share a commitment to both philosophy and social justice. This can help in forming a collective that supports both philosophical growth and active engagement. Incremental changes. Start with small, manageable actions that align with Stoic principles. This helps in maintaining balance while also contributing to larger social changes over time. 5. Cynicism towards change. Understanding the trait. Stoicism often teaches acceptance of the present moment and the circumstances that come with it, advocating for a focus on what one can control, typically one's own thoughts and actions. This philosophy promotes a form of resilience that is grounded in dealing with reality as it is. However, this acceptance can sometimes morph into a cynical attitude toward the possibility of change, especially regarding external conditions or societal systems. This cynicism can lead Stoics to dismiss efforts aimed at improving or changing their environments, which they might view as futile or outside their control. The Stoics' challenge with change. The challenge for Stoics is not to let their understanding of control and acceptance turn into a passive cynicism that negates the potential for positive change. While it is wise to recognize the limits of one's influence, it's equally important not to underestimate the impact one can have. This requires a nuanced understanding of control, recognizing that while we cannot control everything, we can influence much more than we often assume, especially when we act collectively. Psychological and social implications. Psychologically, a cynical stance towards change can lead to a sense of helplessness or resignation, which might diminish a person's engagement with life and reduce their overall well-being. Socially, if many individuals adopt this attitude, it can lead to a society that is less dynamic and less capable of reform and improvement, as its members may lack the initiative to strive for better conditions or innovations. Promoting a positive outlook on change in Stoicism. Modern Stoics can benefit from integrating a proactive approach to change into their philosophy, which can help them maintain their inner peace while also being agents of positive external change. Practical steps for embracing change. Educate and innovate. Stay informed about new developments and ideas in fields of interest. Education is a tool that can transform perceived immutability into areas where one can contribute to change. Small-scale initiatives. Begin with changes that are within one's immediate control, such as improving one's personal environment or community. These small successes can build confidence in the possibility of larger impacts. Collaboration and networking. Engage with groups and communities that are actively involved in making a difference. Collective efforts magnify individual impacts and challenge the notion that change is unachievable. Reinterpret Stoic texts. Delve deeper into Stoic literature to find encouragement for active participation in the world. Many Stoic thinkers, including Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, emphasize the importance of duty to society and engaging with the world constructively. Mindset shifts. Cultivate a mindset that balances acceptance with a proactive attitude. Recognize that change often starts with small, persistent efforts, and that resilience includes the capacity to adapt and transform environments, not just endure them.
Thank you for exploring the depths of Stoicism with us today. If you found value in our journey, please like, share, and subscribe to continue uncovering the wisdom of the Stoics.